Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we will be doing a day in the life with me / work blog as a financial analyst working in corporate finance at a renewable energy company. For those of you who are new here, I wanted to just give you a quick overview of my job. So as a financial analyst, my main responsibility is to build this kind of cash flow models or DCF models that we then use to value our future potential investment projects. I wanted to do another one of these work blogs because you guys really liked my last one, and thank you so much for all the love on that one. But if you watched that one, you might remember that I said in that one that I very rarely work from home. I usually always work from the office, and that is true. And so you might be wondering, why are we working from home today? There is a reason. So I got COVID for the first time. And not just that, before getting COVID, I got a negative COVID test, traveled to the US because I had a trip planned. And then the day after I arrived, I started getting symptoms and started getting sick. And I have now been sick for 2 weeks.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
And finally, so it's Monday today, and this weekend I started getting better, and so I'm trying to go back to work today. But because I've been like super sick, and I am fully vaccinated, I don't know why I got so sick, but I literally couldn't leave the bed. But thankfully this weekend I started feeling better, and so now today, Monday, I am going back to work, and as you might be able to imagine, I am horribly behind on everything. So we have a lot of stuff to do. We probably won't have time to do all of it, but we will see how much we can get done. And on top of all of this, I'm also, for now at least, stuck in the US. Hopefully I'll be allowed to fly back in a few days, but for now I still have to quarantine here, and so that's what we're going to do. But the next work vlog will definitely be back in the office. And so right now it is actually a little bit past 10 a.m. but my day did start way earlier. I had my first meeting at 6:30 a.m. because even though I'm in the US, my schedule is still on European time, and so all my meetings are just really early in the morning. And so I had my first meeting at 6:30 this morning, and that was with some of the people in the OPEX team. And so that meeting was about one of the projects that I'm currently assigned to and how we can improve the OPEX estimates on that one, both make them more accurate, but hopefully also find a viable way to decrease the expenses a bit. And after that meeting, I had my second meeting of the day, and that was my one-on-one meeting with my manager. And so every week I have a one-on-one meeting with my manager, and it's just like 30 minutes where I will give him an update on the different projects that I'm working on, how they're progressing, if I have any issues, if there's anything else going on, if I need help or advice on anything, just that kind of thing. And today's meeting was obviously a little bit more chaotic than usual because I am behind on everything because I've been sick for so long. And so I'm still catching up, and so it was a little bit more chill, but it went well. And then my last meeting of the day also already happened, and that one was with the project team of one of the projects that I'm assigned to right now. And we spent most of that meeting talking about the opportunity of going with a partner for that project, so partnering up with another renewable energy company and basically splitting the cost and splitting the risk and splitting the reward of that project. And so that can be really helpful because it is sort of an upfront investment of billions of dollars that we're talking about for these projects. And so if you do go with a partner, you can split the investment and also split the risk, and that can be really helpful if it is a very risky project, like if the technology is very new or cutting edge, or if it's a new geographical area, something like that. And so we're discussing that, but we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, that is basically all that has happened so far. And so I will get some breakfast now, finally. And then while I eat that, I will go through and respond to emails. And so for breakfast, please don't judge me, but I'm going to have my new favorite thing, which is Cheerios with applesauce. And if you want to see the final product, here it is. It's really good though.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.
So what I'll be doing in Excel now is that I will be finishing off a discounted cash flow model that I started a few weeks ago on this project. And once I have finished that, I will do some different analysis on the data in there and then use the results from that to create some charts. that I then will build into a presentation, and that presentation will then eventually go on to the executive committee, who then will vote on this project to decide whether or not they think that it will be worth the investment. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started.
Looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just keep buying everything.
I have now finished all the Excel work, and we're now ready to create all the charts for our presentation. And so to make the charts, I use a PowerPoint add-in called ThinkCell, and ThinkCell is just like the standard program that we use to make our charts at my company, but obviously you could just use like the standard charts from Excel or PowerPoint. That would work just fine too. The type of charts that I use the most frequently is, first of all, this like waterfall chart thing, which is really good if you try to explain how you get from A to B, like how you get from, say, one business case iteration to another business case iteration, because you can kind of see all the different steps on the bridge. Like they represent all the different changes between A and B, and so I personally really love that, especially if it's like an update to an old business case or something like that. Then it makes a lot of sense to do one of those. Another chart that I use a lot is a chart to sort of show sensitivities, and so for example show how much a 5% change in CapEx would change NPV, or would change IRR or something for the entire project. That can be really useful because obviously when you do cases like this and you're trying to forecast, you know, decades into the future, there's a lot of uncertainty embedded in the case and in the forecast. And so knowing how much changes in different forecasts will impact the overall business case can be really useful when trying to make a decision. And other types of slides that I also make are just sort of like an overall info assumption slide, and then like a slide with all the different potential upsides that are instead of something we can definitely count on, but something that might happen in the future and the impact of them, and like different kinds of slides. So yeah, but I will get into that now.
See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight. Gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate.
So it is a couple hours later now. I made some progress on the presentation, but you know, it's still gonna take me like another 1 or 2 days to finish it because it's a lot, but hey, I made some progress. And I figured I would take like a little break now and maybe talk about sort of my favorite and least favorite parts of my job. And so starting with like my favorites, there's definitely like the people in the community and like all of that, like obviously, but sort of when it comes to really my job responsibility and tasks and all of that, I would say my favorite part is that like I get to help bring these, I guess, renewable energy investment projects to life, and I feel like I have a teeny tiny like good impact and like pushing the world in a greener direction, that kind of thing, and that's kind of nice that I sort of can justify what I spend so much time doing every day to myself. And so that's something that I really enjoy about my job. And it is also just interesting to learn about the whole renewable energy industry from the inside and sort of all the different considerations and stuff. I honestly didn't know anything about the energy industry when I joined this company, like, what is that, 5 months ago now? And so I'm learning so much every day still, and it's definitely a cool experience. And other than that, I'm personally really into investing in stocks and all of that. And sort of with this job, I really improved my asset valuation skills. And obviously there's a lot of differences between valuing a company versus valuing an investment project for a company, but there's a lot of similarities too. You know, like for example, a common valuation method would be to use a discounted cash flow model. And also a lot of the risks and considerations you need to sort of think through before you can make an investment decision are kind of similar too. And I feel like just getting used to that whole investment decision-making process is something that I really enjoy a lot and something that I really want to get better at too. Another thing that I would highlight is that I find it pretty interesting just to like observe how a big company sort of functions and operates. And obviously you would get that from any kind of job function at a big company, but it has definitely been eye-opening to me, and I feel like it's taught me a lot about leadership too. And I just feel like it's a really good place to learn because there's so many different people with so many different skills that you can learn from every day. And when it comes to my least favorite thing, that would definitely have to be like how long-term everything has to be. Because this is renewable energy investment projects, like everything is just on a multiple decade timeline, and that can be so hard for me to like relate to and like feel like I can grasp. like it's hard enough for me to think 5 years ahead, and so like thinking so long term always, and like having these discussions about what society will be like and what people will want and like what the prices of all these different things will be in like many decades is just something that is really hard for me, and like something where I think it can be really hard for me to stay focused, I guess. But yeah, next on the agenda is that I will go and watch a meeting recording of a meeting from last week that I didn't get to attend, and after that I think we'll be done with work for the day, so let's get to it. Also, while we were talking just before, my package from Aritzia arrived, and I'm so excited. They started their summer sale last week or something, so I had to get something. And so if you do like Aritzia, I definitely recommend checking it out because there's actually a lot of good deals there, like 50% off and stuff. So yeah, I'll go open this one. Hi guys, I am back now. I finished watching that meeting recording, and so I am done with work for the day. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed today's vlog. I had so much fun bringing you guys around with me, and please feel free to let me know in the comments if you would like to see more of these types of vlogs, either working from home or working from the office. I would definitely love to make them because this was so much fun, and I'll also link my latest working from the office vlog up here in case you're interested in watching that one. And other than that, if you did enjoy today's video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and then I will see you next week. Bye! In this video, we will be doing something very exciting, hopefully.